famous photographers Richard Avedon and Bill Cunningham in New York, and even Jackie Kennedy. She started out her early life as a photographer. And being a photographer had as much to do about learning about what they were seeing as it did about what they weren't seeing. Often it had to do with light, aperture, and the f-stops. Remember, the f-stops were a big thing in the old days, and I guess they still exist, even though it's been a long time since I've worked with a real camera. We have had a lot of gray days here in Chicago, and on some of them, I've been reminded about the f-stops because even on a gray day, it can be surprisingly bright, at least from the camera's perspective. The pandemic narrative had a lot of unexpected consequences. Before it started, I was Presbyterian, and after it started, I became Episcopalian. The use of incense was new to me. I was incensed by it. Last Sunday, I noticed the smoke really billowing up in the beams of light from the spotlights overhead. I really noticed it, the light, as if for the first time. I may have been in a fog before the pandemic, but sometimes you really need to be in a fog in order to see the light. Welcome to Illinois Bridging Awareness. I'm Stanley Smith. We're bridging the gap between the beginning of our narrative together, and the place where we're all hoping to arrive when it's all over. They say the most important part of any story, book, or a life well lived is the end. There's a lot of revelation in the conclusion, and there's a lot of seeing things, noticing things for as if for the first time along the way. It was probably there all along, but we couldn't quite see it because of all the fog. Jim Downs shared the idea that sometimes more light is obvious to us when we have less of it to see because we have to be more open to it. We can be more open and we can open our aperture in the process. But when there's too much light, we sometimes feel it's necessary to narrow our gaze because it's just too much to bear. In any given circumstance, we can see the situation and we can figure out, which f-stop do we really need to employ? Do we need to be the gate to keep things out, or be the gate to let more things in? Or even better, can we be a portal moving from the exclusive absolute to God's infinite inclusive truth? It's a process of moving from the zero sum game we're all in to the bigger than the sum of the parts reality. That's why we need the journey together to prepare for the revelation that we are a godly people. Last week, Carol continued her talk about healing remedies. Most of the things she shared were foods, herbs, and teas. The most startling notion was that we don't need to always think in terms of pharmaceuticals, but instead focus on healing and the intention of being well. Most of us have the intention and the faith that we will be well. Our intention is that our state will be well and our nation will be healed. On the Conservative Hour, we're working on a strategic plan to be informed, engaged, and to take action. And the goal of the plan is to be the reunited States of America. Truth doesn't need a champion, and argument almost always fails to sway. In this group, we're participating in the assembly, and that offers a model of action, which includes connecting with people in each county of the state. We have people in every county. It's just a matter of providing the tools and resources needed to see the opportunities we have in each and every locality in the state. Misa Edwardson asked me this week, what is the goal of all this? I told Misa that the goal is the same as it was at the very start of our journey together, and that is to knit ourselves together. Do I put my faith in any particular initiative, project, or strategy? Probably not. But just like reading the book, it's all part of the journey. And if it gets us to the conclusion, the revelation, and the seeing of the light fully, and then the process knitting ourselves together, well, then it will be time well spent. Laura Jean said on one of our calls this week, my employer signs my paychecks, but I work for God. In the old days, we had the f-stops in the sense that the people who signed our paychecks, well, they also worked for God. That was the parallel system we were all living in. It was our seeing things through a particular aperture. Perhaps we're still in a fog, but we are seeing the light and we're seeing it together. If you would like to join us on the Saturday call, the Illinois Bridging Awareness call, it's every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Central Time on Zoom. I will include my email in the description of this video. I'll be happy to send you an invitation. And I look forward to seeing you very, very soon.